What's going on, everybody? Snozy Optica here, and today I thought I would do a different type of video. I would do the infamous tier list that everybody loves to do and everybody loves to watch. I'm going to be ranking all of these Call of the Wild maps based on my personal opinion. It's not going to be based off of anything but that. It's just my personal opinion. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. That's cool, and it should be that way. And I'm just going to start off by saying none of these maps are bad. None of these maps I get on and I'm like, oh, I hate this map so much. I really do like all of these. Some just a little bit better than others. And there's not a true criteria to this. There's reasons why I really like some maps, and I'll go over those briefly. But there's not like a set thing that makes like one map better than the other. I guess I'll get started with saying there are some of these maps, two of them in particular, that I don't have a lot of time on, and that would be Cuatro Colinas and Parque Fernando. So I'm going to go ahead and move those to C tier, not because they are truly C tier, I haven't played much of them. So from what I remember, they were pretty cool, but I have to put them there just because I don't have as much knowledge. So we'll leave that like that. Getting started. New England Mountains. New England Mountains is probably the map that is closest to home for me and feels the closest to home. So I do have a little bit of a soft spot for it. I do know that most people do not like this map just because it is, one, really tough to grind on because it's not only thick, but it has a ton of zones. But I don't grind, so I don't care about stuff like that. The landscape is just amazing. It's very visually interesting and very pretty. It has like that fall setting that we love, lots of colors, you know. Green grass, it still isn't burnt up or dead from winter. It just looks very appealing. And the animals are great too. The wildlife list for New England Mountains are bobwhite quail, eastern cottontail rabbit, eastern wild turkey, golden eye, green winged teal, mallard, ringneck pheasant, bobcat, common raccoon, coyote, gray fox, red fox, white-tailed deer, black bear, and moose. So quite a bit. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 great ones on this map. But I'm going to put New England Mountains in S tier. Yeah, I know, crazy. Putting it in S tier. But there's some things that make this map stand out for me. I would say the uniqueness of the terrain. It just looks amazing. And like somebody that's from the East Coast of the United States, it has the animals that I like to hunt in real life too. So that's why I'm putting it in S tier. I know a lot of you guys will not agree with it, but that's okay. You don't have to. On to the next one. Layton Lakes. I mean, do I need to say anything about Layton Lakes? Layton Lakes is the map. It's the map that got everybody interested in this game, for the most part. Layton Lakes will always have a soft spot in a lot of Call of the Wild's player base. Have to put it in S tier. I feel like S or A. I put it in S, and here's why. Layton Lakes also kind of reminds me of home. Even though it's technically on the opposite end of where I live, it still gives me that feel with white-tailed deer and kind of the setting and lighting that it has. That dreary mid-fall weather. Sometimes it can be thick. It's visually very nice. And also, the names of the locations are just great. You got like Chila and Belmont and stuff like that. Stuff that seems like real locations that just roll off the tongue very nicely and sound very cool, to be honest. And the animal list is really good. You have mallard, Merriam turkey, white-tailed jackrabbit, coyote, black-tailed deer, white-tailed deer, black bear, Roosevelt elk, and moose. Layton Lake is still one of the only maps that has a unique species on it, and that's the Roosevelt elk. So yeah, for all those reasons, that's why I'm giving Layton Lakes the S tier treatment here. You just can't beat Layton. Next is Vurhonga. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say about Vurhonga that hasn't already been said. Just an amazing map. It's so much fun. It's got a very unique animal lineup, of course, because it is in Africa. The animals are great. The missions were done great. It's just such an immersive map, and I love Verhunga. It was like the second map that I ever bought when I first started playing this game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move these in order of, which ones I think are from best to worst, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go Leighton Lakes first, if I could get this thing to move. Verhunga second, and New England Mountains third. Verhunga is just one of the crown jewel maps, in my opinion. The animal list for Verhunga is the Eurasian Widgeon, Scrub Hare, Side-striped Jackal, Springbok, Lesser Kudu, Warthog, Blue Wildebeest, Gemsbok, Cave Buffalo, and the Lion. I don't think anybody would probably disagree with me putting Verhunga in S tier. Okay, next we have Emerald Coast. These are not in order, by the way. These are kind of mismatched, so I'm not going by like the date that they came out or the order the map came out. I'm just going by what's down here, and it makes it kind of more interesting, I feel like. But anyway, the next map we're going to, Emerald Coast. Emerald Coast is an Australian map that came out a couple years ago, 2023. And people consider this one of the first perfect maps. That this map was just, the end-all be-all. They were almost asking, how do you top this map? Like, what do you make after this? Like, they thought that Call of the Wild might be done. For Emerald Coast, I have to put this in A tier. It's not that it's not good. Obviously, it's still an A tier. It's just, I don't feel like it's S tier for me. Maybe it's just because of the time I was playing it. I'd been playing it for a year at that point. I wasn't getting necessarily super burnt out, but I was starting to play like Fishing Planet a lot more. I was starting to play Way of the Hunter a lot more. So although I was excited for this map, I was not feeling the magic of some of the other maps, but that's okay. It's still a great map. It still looks fairly good. Like the terrain and the not the wildlife. The terrain, yes. So the terrain looked fairly good. I didn't feel like there was quite as much uniqueness in the terrain as something like New England Mountains or some of the other maps that I'll get into later, but it was still, nevertheless, a really good map. The lineup for Emerald Coast is Magpie Goose, Stubble Quail, Red Fox, Axis Deer, Feral Goat, Hog Deer, Eastern Grey Kangaroo, Fallow Deer, Feral Pig, Javan Rusa, Red Deer, Sambar, Saltwater Crocodile, and Bantang. And you know what? Now that I'm saying this, I think this might be the top A tier of mine. Because animals like the Saltwater Croc and Bantang and Sambar, like, that is a really good lineup. So I think I'm going to give it a little bit of respect and keep it here in this top spot of A. So next we have Reventuli Coast. Reventuli Coast was kind of known as like the bird map when it came out. I mean, a good reason for it. It has a ton of birds on it. The landscape is awesome. It has a really cool vibe and look to it, and I enjoy hunting on it. It's not my favorite map just because of the animal lineup. I'm not much of a bird hunter. There's always a chance for me to get into bird hunting more, but here's the lineup. Black Grouse, Canadian Goose, Eurasian Teal, Eurasian Widgeon, Golden Eye, Grey-Leg Goose, Hazel Grouse, Mallard, Mountain Hare, Rock Ptarmigan, Tufted Duck, Tundra Bean Goose, Western Capercaillie, Willow Ptarmigan, Raccoon Dog, Eurasian Lynx, White-tailed Deer, Brown Bear, and Moose. So, a little bit repetitive on some of the big animals, but that's okay. I'm giving Reventuli Coast B. Next up, Silver Ridge Peaks. Silver Ridge Peaks, I mean, the first DLC map I ever bought was Silver Ridge Peaks. I loaded it up on a multiplayer. I went out there. I had finally got to the level where I could get the 9mm. And I was like, wow, there's animals everywhere. And you can actually see them. So as a new player, I was really happy about that because it was a little hard to hunt still at the time. So SRP has got to be up there for me. And this was the one I was going to put in the A top tier. The top A tier. And although I still want to do that, I just don't know if you can really beat some of the animals on Emerald Coast. So I will put it in the second little tier there, not tier, second little place in the A tier. The animal lineup for Silver Ridge Peaks is Merriam Turkey, Pronghorn, Mountain Goat, Mountain Lion, Mule Deer, Rocky Mountain Bighorn Sheep, Black Bear, Rocky Mountain Elk, and Plains Bison. Really cool animal lineup, kind of like the real life hunter's dream. And everybody wants to go to the Rocky Mountains, Midwest, just to hunt these animals. Next up, we have Yukon Valley, Alaska. This map is another one that kind of just makes the real life hunter in me feel great. Based off in Alaska, it's a place that I dream that I can go hunt one day in real life. So that gets some extra points for that. The landscape, very cool. Some of the biomes, very unique and diverse. This is the first place that there was actual snow that would accumulate under you or above you and stuff like that they later on made even better with Oskey Ridge. But Yukon Valley is a hard map to beat. I think this was my second map that I ever bought. Maybe the third map I ever bought. I think the second I bought was for Honda. But Yukon Valley, great lineup of animals. Canada Goose, Harlequin Duck, Red Fox, Grant Caribou, Gray Wolf, Grizzly Bear, Moose, and Plains Bison. The Grizzly Bear being introduced was awesome. And this is the original Gray Wolf map. They weren't on MedVed at the time. And this was the only one that had them. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this in A tier. And I'm going to put it right behind SRP. I like this lineup for right now. Okay, next we have MedVed, the original snow map. The best looking snow map still to this date. I'm sorry, Oskey Ridge, but MedVed is still the top dog when it comes to the visuals of a snow map. The only thing that was holding MedVed back for the longest time was its animal lineup. It was pretty low on the lineup, and I think at the time it was, right now it says there's 8. I think there was only 6 animal species. The original species was the musk deer, the Eurasian lynx, wild boar, mountain reindeer, brown bear, and moose, right? And then they have since added the gray wolf and the western capricorn. The map is awesome. It looks great. It feels like you're out in the frozen tundra, and it's thick snow. It's sometimes thick brush. Lakes and rivers are all frozen over. It's just really cool. I really like MedVed, so I have to put MedVed in the top S tier just for the reason that it's so great looking and it's so much fun for me to hunt. I loved it. I'm so immersed every time I go there. The next map that I want to talk about is Sundarban. Sundarban flipped Call of the Wild on its head. The community still, I'm pretty sure, refers to this as like the best map out there. For some people, it's a few animals on this animal lineup, but for me, it was a few animals that most people don't talk about on this lineup. When I heard that we were getting tahr and water buffalo and also the northern red muntjac, I was sold on this map immediately. Even though it doesn't have that nostalgia factor that I had when I first started playing, it's still just great. It's so diverse in the landscape and the biomes. The animal list is fantastic. And I love this map. The only thing that scares me about this map is the tigers, man. I've been knocked out so many times. It's like kind of playing Dangerous Hunts from Cabela's back in the day. But it's such a fun map. The wildlife list is gray-lag goose, woolly hare, northern red muntjac, Tibetan fox, black buck, blue sheep, Himalayan tahr, snow leopard, barashinga, nilgai, Bengal tiger, water buffalo, and wild yak. I don't think you can beat this, and for that, it is the top S tier spot that isn't ruled with like nostalgia. So nostalgia doesn't play a factor in this, but it's still making the S tier. I don't think that I can quite put it over Leighton Lakes and Vurhonga just because of, one, yes, they're great maps, but the nostalgia factor of it for me. Sundarban is still the best new map, by far. Okay, next up, Rancho del Arroyo. Rancho del Arroyo, really cool map. I love the desert biome. I love just the look of it, the feel of it. It's somewhere that I aspire to go in real life. Rancho del Arroyo is very cool and unique for the fact that it's the only desert biome map. I just love some of the visuals, lots of deep canyons, lots of open plains, and just dirt, basically. But it looks great. The missions are really cool. Love the music to this. One of my favorite soundtracks of any of the other maps. And I have to put Rancho in the highest B for now. The only reason that it is not higher than this is because, admittedly, I don't have as much time on Rancho as I do the other maps up here. So, kind of have it in B as a little bit of a placeholder for right now. The wildlife list of Rancho is antelope, jackrabbit. The wildlife list of Rancho is antelope, jackrabbit, ringneck pheasant, Rio Grande turkey, coyote, Mexican bobcat, collared peccary, pronghorn, white-tailed deer, desert bighorn sheep, and mule deer. And for a while, this was kind of the spot for everyone to get their white-tailed great one, because it was just probably one of the best grinding maps before Revon Tule came out, and then Revon Tule kind of took that title away. Next up is Solweizen Park. Solweizen Park is actually smaller map than the rest of them, and it was meant to be that way. Right after their down period of coming out with Sunder Baton, so they kind of just, I feel like, just gave us a little something, but it turned out to be a really pretty and fun map. This one kind of has gotten me a little bit into bird hunting. Not quite there yet, but it's still really cool. The wildlife list is black grouse, Eurasian teal, Eurasian widgeon, European rabbit, Ferungus duck, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Ferruginous duck, gadwall, golden eye, gray-lag goose, mallard, ringneck pheasant, tufted duck, tundra bean goose, common raccoon, the raccoon dog, and red fox. And this is now, I think, became like probably one of the best spots to get your great one fox at, even though I don't grind. Some people still like to, and I'm gonna put this in B. I'll put it at the latter part of the B. Next up is Aski Ridge. Came out this year. Another kind of snowy map. It's got some different biomes, and it's an awesome map. It has a great lineup of animals. I think that's one of the coolest things it's got going for it. And the lodges look awesome, and the story's pretty interesting too with the missions. So these all go into my little point system, my internal point system. The animal lineup for Aski Ridge is Canada goose, dusky grouse, mallard, northern pintail, ringneck pheasant, snow goose, wood duck, northern American beaver, pronghorn, mountain goat, white-tailed deer, mule deer, Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep, gray wolf, woodland caribou, black bear, Manitoban elk, moose, and wood bison. So a ton of animals. And it's 19 animals to be exact. It's just a great map. It's solid. I really like this map a lot. I'm gonna have to put Aski Ridge in the A tier. I will put it right behind. I'll put it right behind Yukon, or behind Silver Ridge Peaks. Really cool map. I think it's deserving of A. Next up, Tia Aurora. Some people love this map, and I like this map as well. The only problem is when I used to want to get a great one, which I still never got one, I did grind for a little bit, and I'm talking like my grinds were maybe like 300 kills max. Like I did not follow through with it. I did a fallow grind on Tia Aurora, and one, it burnt me out of fallow, and two, it maybe burnt me out of Tia Aurora a little bit. But that's not the map's fault. That's honestly my fault. I knew I wasn't the type of person to grind, but I tried it anyway. And for that reason, I have it in the B tier. It looks great. Some kind of unique diversity in the biomes, or like the parts of the map. Overall, it feels like New Zealand. And I've always wanted to go to New Zealand to get a nice red deer or something in real life. So I really still like this map. like I said, maybe just burnt myself out on it a little bit, but that's not the map's fault. We're going to put this right behind Rancho del Arroyo. Lineup for Tierra Aurora is European Rabbit, Mallard, Merriam Turkey, Chamois, Feral Goat, Fallow Deer, Himalayan Tar, Sika Deer, Feral Pig, Red Deer. On to Mississippi Acres. Mississippi is a lot of people's least favorite map. And I don't know if it's my least favorite. I have some good memories on that map. I just haven't hunted it all that much. So instead of giving it, I've hunted it more than Quattro and Parquet. So I'm going to put it in B tier, but I'm going to put it in the last part of B tier. It is very thick, and it was kind of like the thing that it had going for it was the raccoons. They came out at the same time, but the map is just so freaking good looking. It looks exactly like Mississippi. It feels like Mississippi. I want to put it higher. It's just past like kind of unlocking the map. I haven't done so much with it. There's so many maps that sometimes I forget to choose a Mississippi or a Parquet or a Quattro or a Revontuli. Like, I just don't think about these all that much. Mississippi's lineup is bobwhite quail, eastern cottontail rabbit, eastern wild turkey, green winged teal, common raccoon, gray fox, white-tailed deer, wild hog, American alligator, and the black bear. So, I'll probably put this above Sawaizen, just for the fact that, I mean, it's so cool. It had American alligator and it had the raccoon. Like, it's such a cool map. I just haven't had much time on it. And last but not least, some people's least favorite map, Hirschfelden. Hirschfelden for me is going in A tier. Hirschfelden, another one of those maps, was the second map I ever played. Nostalgic, looks beautiful, so much fun, so unique. You know, you have to take your time on the hunt here. You can't just fly through the woods and shoot something, which is how I hunt anyway. The only thing that's keeping it a bit lower is the animal lineup. We have Canada Goose. We did used to only have Canada Goose here. The European Rabbit, Ring-necked Pheasant, Red Fox, Roe Deer, Fallow Deer, Wild Boar, Red Deer, and European Bison. European Bison, unique to this map, but I guess I'm going to put this right behind Silver Ridge Peaks in the A tier. Just because you got to respect Hirschfelden, man. It's so good looking, and it's just such a fun map. Anyway, guys, this was my tier list. I kind of forgot what this was called. Again, these are all based on my personal opinion. None of these maps are better than the other or worse than the other by default. It all depends on who you are, how you play, what you like, and that's fine. Like I said, Parquet Fernando and Quattro Colinas aren't getting any disrespect here. I just don't know where to put them since I haven't really played them all that much. But rest assured, I will fix that in the coming year. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next video.